Very good. So we are recording and I am spreading. Like you can see, I'm feeling a lot of joy because Eithne is joining me on Sitio Brigida, which is the first being school on planet Earth, a conscious space to unfold your being and discover who you are. And it's about you discovering it on yourself. This is really a space for how can I find my path, my individual and unique path, and making different experiments so I can discover my own soul. And I am I discovered this place really by listening to Gaia. And this is also, I started this path of being in communication with Gaia and listening to her at the beginning of this year. I mean, before I had like kind of processes, where I talked with Gaia, but I never heard her really whispering. And I since I'm here, it's like kind of being in this whole day experience with Gaia because I can't hear cars from here. I can't hear not other so much other influences, and so I can hear Gaia so loud. So when the wind goes, or when the bees are coming, or when the birds are singing, everything is speaking to me here. It's talking to me here, and I just want to bring that. I did not do it in a way. Okay, I have the team, and then we are searching for land together. It was more the land just said, I want you to be here. And then I made everything possible to buy this land. And so I'm sitting here on 5.6 hectares, two horses and two dogs. And
And where in the world?
what?
Where in the world?
In Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah. In Brazil, in Anitápolis, it's in the south of Brazil. It's 2 hours from Florianopolis, where I hold space for different feeling spaces and also other spaces that I'm inventing. So yeah. So yeah, and it
Yeah.
also this whole process, to get this land. I don't have the money on myself, but it was like my father asking me, "What is your vision?" And I told him my vision, and then he said nothing. And a half year later, he said, I want to be alive while you are manifesting your vision. So I'm giving you the money so you can manifest your vision. I don't want to, die and then you have my money. No, I want it now. I want to like see how it grows and how you fail and how you find yourself again. And he wanted to be part of this journey. So I said yes because this is bigger than me to say no to this and to say, okay, my father, I don't want money from my father. But it's kind of, I'm not seeing myself as the owner of this space. I'm seeing myself really as a guardian for this land. And since that, I'm learning how to speak Windish and Beeish and all these languages that I have the sense that are really old and ancient, that I knew before, and now I kind of learning it again, and being in this exploration. Yeah, what does it mean to hear the voice of the wind and really get it? And one thing that I'm discovering is to connect it with your own feelings. It's this intuitive part. The intuition is really on the heart chakra. And if you sense into your feelings, you can open other dimensions. But I mean, with that, really the conscious feelings. And this is also then the invitation that I want to do for today, that the key, if you go outside and talk to the land, that you connect with the feelings and the sensation you are getting first, and then just be there for a time and wait. There will be coming things from your mind, and you can just wish, put it away. But if it's connected to your feelings, then you will get this information, and you will get also the wisdom from it. So, and also the orientation that I am inviting today is, I'm scared that Gabriel is not hearing this, but I will just keep going for now, is that to really be with the land and not come with a problem or come with something personal today. Like, for example, I used to go to Gaia and say, he's coming again. I used to connect to Gaia with, I need something from you, Gaia. Like, I don't know, issues with my partner. What possibilities do you have for me? Or yeah, whatever. I have this wound inside of me, and please, Gaia, would you give me possibilities? Or what is my next step? Or and my invitation for today is that you make it the other way around. That you say, what do you want, Gaia, actually? So, or what is your necessity? And what can I do for you? And being in this respectful and awful way to just listen to her and be surprised what she will tell you. And it can be that you feel, as I said before, Gabriel, I think you did not hear it, is the key is really to go with the feelings first, because the feelings open this field, and it could be that you just stay in the feeling, and it could be that from the feeling you get other informations. And for example, I was menstruating, and I was going outside and had belly issues, and then I sensed the orange tree was talking to me. The orange tree was inviting me to sit there and to touch her. And I went there. And the first thing was a feeling. I was feeling sexual energy coming from the tree. And it was informed from an orange energy coming through my veins inside of me. And I waited. And then she said that her leaves would help me to not have cramps. And she was also saying like a lot of different informations about how to flow, and what does feminine energy, what does the woman energy really mean, and how can I be a source for that. But the first step was the feeling, and if I would doubt that feeling, I would destroy the this impact and this relating that I had with her. And then I researched in the internet. So if you have kind of this information how to make a herbal tea, it's also every time important to look in the internet if it's real. And I read in the internet that the leaves of an orange tree is very good for menstruation problems and belly issues. So it was true what she was telling me.
And I also invite you to put away what it is you already know
Mm.
about how it goes with relating with the land. Or I know everyone on this call today has had at least some experience in working with Gaia in different ways. And there's a certain knowing that we're all carrying about this is how it goes. This is how I relate to her. This is how I receive information. And to use this space and the sensitivity of all five bodies to let Gaia speak. And as Isabel was saying, to not go searching for information, but to let the information move at the pace of life, at the pace of the wind, at the pace of the grass growing into you, and to just be in that experimental space of not knowing and not searching. And how can it go for you? What can Gaia communicate when we don't enter with any kind of expectation of how it goes? That's a question that I carry into this space.
A lot of sad and joy. And still, I want to check if you hear me properly
Yes.
Yes.
because I've been practicing a lot going into the journey into the earth. There is a cave 30 minutes walk by where I am. And I practice this. And recently, the guardian of the place told me the exact name, like a similar name. Like before, it was giving me different names, and now it's clear that it is this person, this guardian, this that is there and is talking to me. And I sense the relationship is deepening with him, and and yeah, I'm just touched. I feel sadness and joy that you bring question, and I feel a lot of joy and love pouring through me when I hear this question. Like, how uh, can I be like? What do you need, Gaia? I never like I did very rarely put that question that way. So yeah, I feel a lot of joy and sadness and connection.
Thank you, Gabriel, sharing your sadness and joy. I this orientation is coming from a place where I had all these ideas about what do I want to create here and having my own vision, bringing it to the land, and then started like the land talking to me and saying, moment, wait a moment, you are coming here, and I have something to say also, and
Mhm.
to say, okay, I can have plans, unfinished plans, but what does this land actually want me to create here? And it was more the land choosing me instead of I choosing the land. And we kind of, it was this process of falling in love with each other. And then for me to recognizing, if I want other people to live here with me, they need to fall in love with this land as well, and it has to be like this, falling in love with each other as well, even if it's not forever, for 2 weeks, for 1 month, but this excitement and this falling in love, and then the land really inviting and making space for you to be there. So this is the invitation for today, that you not go with a question, that you just go with nothing and feel what wants to talk to you. And for that, um, is kind of, mm, you can right now just scan in yourself if you are holding on to something right now. Now, it can be that a part of you is contracted. And you don't have to be like totally not contracted and flowing and blah blah blah, and like being honey while you're going to the land, but you can just notice in yourself if there is some contraction, because the contraction, yeah, is it's making a tension inside of you. No, it's making a closeness inside of you, and you can, when you have this kind of tension right now, if it helps you, you can just write it down on your beep book, and letting it in your beep book, and opening your own pores. Yeah, I'm waiting if you have something, just write it down, something that is blocking you, something that is can be something simple as well, like I need to cook something later, or some story, something that is actually letting your soul being smaller than she is. Can be also something big, as I'm not good enough, I'm a piece of shit. Just let it there. You don't need it right now. Eithne, I want to check with you. Do you want to say something right now before we go to the practice? There's something you want to add?
Hmm. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that is, if it is possible for you to go and be outside, I would recommend it for the start of this practice. If not, it is possible to sense Gaia in everything. Everything that exists on this planet is of Gaia. And so if you're inside and it's not possible for you, I invite you to just take a few moments to feel the wood underneath your feet or the bricks, the stone, whatever it is. Even if there's plastic under your feet, plastic comes from the earth. It's it's made of materials that have existed since long before any of us were here. So Gaia can be found in anything through any barrier because she is everywhere. She is life happening around us. And so wherever you are, whatever room or space, how near or far you are to nature, I invite you to feel into her here and now.
Joy, because I just had a story that I could not connect to Gaia through an onion. And it is exactly what is happening. I, I,
Yay.
I can really sense it, like it's very strong because I declared it and it's there, and whatever story is around is just there.
Mm-hmm. And imagine if you open that onion and then you cry even more. That it's interconnected to you. It comes to you. Yeah, really. I mean it. I'm laughing and making jokes, but actually, it's really an experiment to sense into this pain, because I once was invited by a rock to sit on it, and then there were a lot of horseflies coming, and they went and wanted to, they 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 wanted to suck my blood, and the stone said, just stay. And I was like kind of feeling a bit crazy about just staying, letting this horseflies pick like, suck my blood. But I was sitting there and they were like on the right spots, and it was like, having an acupuncture from the stone. So sometimes these invitations are valuable to feel this pain, and my body was getting so hot, and I was getting all these informations about, okay, I need to connect my bones with the stone to have the structure to stay. Even if it's painful, I just going to stay because I decide. So whatever it is, go with it, even if it could be some pain. So I invite you to really open up, and open up your cells, like open up your skin, like let the oxygen come to your skin, let the also the air come into your lungs. You can also just be with this air, because this air is also part of Gaia. And being open and being open with your heart right now. We will have 20 minutes. We said 15, but I think 20 is good. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
And then 20 minutes to go outside, or you can stay in your space and engage with whoever wants to engage with you with this orientation. And you go with your heart and you connect with this thing, even if it's a stone, even if it's something you think maybe it's dead. You connect it with your heart. And it's about not questioning yourself. You just do this experiment for 20 minutes to not question, to not let your mind confuse you. And you go with this openness. And we will meet here at 15 before 4. No, it's for you, it's other time, 9. And for James, it's also another time. So in 20 minutes, 15 before the full hour. We're actually all in different time zones. So, yeah. There any question before we go there?
Another question is I'm noticing. So I'm in a house and there is a little boy going to sleep or is almost asleep. So I decide to stay there. And I realize there's plenty of stuff collected from Gaia here. So I'm going to connect to the stuff that is already here.
Yeah,
And I picked up already this stone that this little boy is using as a phone. So I realized that there is already a lot of stuff here.
yeah, and you can choose also. I mean, you can also connect to a person. Okay, you can also, if you have the impulse to go to that little boy and listen to the good night story, whatever, I just saying that sometimes the mind wants to make something up, and it's really about just being free what your mind thinks and just going and see what the universe has for you. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording while we are doing this, and we meet here in 20 minutes. Bye bye. So, do you want to share something right now? What happened? What did you discover? And yeah, make it visible. What is the piece of the consciousness from Gaia that you got?
I went. It's early morning here and dark, or especially dark when we first started, and I noticed some resistance about going outside. It's also winter and cold, and I went out anyway, and didn't know where I was going to go, and I walked around for a while, and then there's a tree that has been on my mind or on my something for a little while, and I've been meaning to visit it and haven't. And so I went and visited this tree, and it's quite a big tree. It was the first tree that was really here on this piece of land when we arrived, the only tree. And it's still uh, standing in the middle of this paddock. And I so I went to it and leant against it and was not really. It was weird. I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't really connected with it in some way. And so I turned and leaned against it with my back, and I was getting like, and I was trying to occupy, like trying to let the ideas or expectations or thoughts about how it should go or whatever sort of fall away, and there's some of that, there's stories about how it's gone in the past, and then when I could get a bit closer to being with what really was, the thing that really was that this tree didn't really, like, this tree has been standing on its own for so long that, and there's this kind of energy of, I don't really, like, it wasn't I don't need you or I don't want you, but it was something like that. Like there's something like, I'm this tree alone. And then when I got into that sort of energy, then I really felt the sadness, and that this tree was lonely, is lonely, and really hasn't, and that's all the tree wants is company. Like it wants other trees, and it's as simple as that. And so yeah, I made a deal with the tree that I was gonna, will be bringing it some friends this winter.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I I wanted to very. I hope you can hear me well. The connection is not
Yes.
really stable.
Yes.
I wanted to big, mm, yeah, very imaginary like journey, like connecting to first that phone, which I declare was a phone for Gaia, phone of Earth, and I start dialing it and asking what Gaia needs, and I just got a flash of energy, and things started to roll on, and what I've received is that Gaia wants sensitivity, creation, and art from our parts. This is what she needs from me. And I got connected to many objects there and plants that have messages. I also connected to a kind of flower. I want to show you. That's a kind of flower that makes some sound when you move it like that. And Gaia told me that it was a story eraser, that I could use it, you know, to move it around and sitting still to erase stories.
Mm.
And I'm scared because in my past, it connected to shamanism where they use this kind of tools, but it's a bit in my mind, this part, but whatever. And I water the plant that I thought that was kind of dry, and I water it too much. And so I got connected to water also. And yeah,
And
I went outside, went,
what did you
yeah,
got from the water?
that I was too much pouring energy in my system.
Mm-hmm.
So I create emotion from that. So that's why the water is flowing and is going so far because I'm demanding so much of myself.
Mm.
And I realize I'm scared because I've met this kind of energy. I've met in those 20 minutes before in sacred places that I visited. like temples or eco-villages or
Mm-hmm.
places that I visited, and this energy was really there when it was in the space, and I got connected to the intuition when I was touching the plants, touching the water, going outside. I could sense the anger of the bird. I was watching a little bird's nest, and the mother was turning around me because I was watching her baby baby birds, and I could sense her anger. So, how dare you? Don't come too too close, or this kind of thing. So I was like, oh wow, it was very very vivid and present.
And you felt that same anger in this room that you're in now. Ah, the same energy.
What do you mean now?
You said you've connected with this kind of intense earth energy in eco villages and sacred places, and then now in this space too.
Yeah, there's like a particular glowing of the things,
Mhm.
as if there was more light or more density into the light.
Gabriel, I feel so glad about this share because I've had this similar experience where I've gone to these really sacred spaces where it's so apparent and you feel it so tingling in the air and in all the senses and all the bodies. And it also created this story that these are the only places where it happens, that I have to go somewhere else to find this kind of connection to Gaia, or that I have to, I have to really do something or go somewhere, like go on, that I can't find it here. And it's magical what you're saying, that even in here in this one room that you were in, you still experience that depth of connection to Gaia. That's an incredible legend, and I'm so glad you shared it because it's legendary. It busts my story that that's not possible everywhere.
Mm. And then the light comes in.
I know.
That's for
Wow.
another reason. It's my partner. It's also a light in my life. So
Eithne, would you share what happened for you? Are you done,
Yes.
Gabriel? Or do you want to say?
yeah.
So I am in my backyard, which is the backyard of my mother's house, I'll say, which is very overgrown, is the modern culture story of it, that it's wild, it's not well kept, and there's many mosquitoes in this area. And I am very scared of mosquitoes. I have all these stories about them that they carry disease, they're annoying, they're a pest, they're something to get rid of. And even in the context setting, I could feel them biting my feet. And I was so annoyed. I was getting so frustrated by this and swatting at them. And I decided to just let it happen. That I wasn't gonna try to fight against them too much. And I could feel like ants and mosquitoes and flies like landing on different parts of my body. And every time they touched down, I felt such fear. Like this incredible fear would come up in me. And I remember just watching a fly kind of like walk around on my foot. I could feel every little pad of its, I don't know if flies have feet, but of the feet, I could feel each little pad as it moved around my foot. And I felt so scared to let life get that close to me. And I realized that I have a lot of barriers that I use in my life to keep the force of Gaia from really touching me. And in that moment, when just feeling these bugs move around my body, I felt so sad. I felt so sad that my first impulse was to kick them away or shoo them away or make it so I could once again just be this solitary, lonely thing. that's not touched by anything alive. And yeah, what I got from it is that life wants to be that close to me. The forces of Gaia want to be the forces of life want to be close enough to me to that I can feel them. And it's not just me, it's everyone. That life wants to be that close to all of us. And I feel sad about this, and I feel scared about it too. I feel really scared about letting bugs crawl on me and letting life come close enough to touch.
Now it's my turn.
Is
What happened is that I went outside and I immediately wanted to pull off all my clothes and just lie in the sun. But the plan was crossed by another dog, a male dog. He was sitting above the wooden terrace, and one of my dogs is in her moon, like she's bleeding, and he wanted to have sex with her, and I told Eithne before that I'm having like this conscious anger practice of being to the dogs, that so they get so scared that they don't come back. But this dog, this one particular dog, is really sticky, and he just comes away back all the time, and it was kind of a collaboration of all, like, of the two horses and the two dogs and me, um like say go, putting this dog away. Like the horse is also like and my other dog just run after it and trying, like, being angry at this dog. And what I got is that um like I sensed like we are one body. I did not include the animals so much to being part of the community. I don't know why. It was not so integrated, and kind of what happened is that it integrated. It just landed in me that, wow, they are also holding space with me and they are seeing me as a space holder. So when I say, hey, he has to go, this dog has to go, they help me and they are on my team. And then one of the horses, Enox, the big white one, he was like, like letting all this stress from the dog, like falling apart. And then I invited everyone in the space, because he did that, and also to do. And this was so releasing to do this. I don't know if you want to do it one time, but it's so releasing to just and to yeah, and to let it go, to let go all this rapid tension that I had before of raging and being angry at this dog that was invading the space. And also, like, Enox, this white horse, just came with his came like at this from the side, and wanted physical touch, like wanting to be close to me, because he needed that to calm down also. And then I kept going, and the and then we sat on this terrace, and I could sense the sun coming to me and just warming my body. Yeah, so this is kind of what I want to research more. It's giving me like this impulse of, it's kind of my job. How can we navigate together as one body in a community, also with animals, and being like in a circle with animals, being in a circle with animals, and what does it mean to be in a circle with animals, how, to approach the feelings and the necessities of these different animals, and this communication that are giving, that also helped me in this moment. The horse made the sound and it was inviting me also to do it with him, and when I did it, he was like, and now we can cuddle. um, yeah, so it was a fun experience.
We are at time. 2:00 my time. And
James, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I've got one more thing to say if there's a few more minutes.
Yes.
go.
So there's been little bits of this coming out from your sharings as well, and I want to speak it into this space. It was this thing while I was walking to the tree, there was a part of me that shut off from where I was, and so but the thing is that at the moment the ground is very wet here, so it went one footprint. I can hear it, like I can hear the air being pushed out of the wet ground for about like a 4 meter radius around my foot. So that sound brought me back to the fact that I'm also here. Like, and I had this question in me about how can I be where I am and be going somewhere at the same time, like be fully present where I am and be headed somewhere else. That in me, like that I have that it's one or the other, and and I and I also sense that it's possible for both things to be happening at the same time. And also it ties into this thing about Gaia. Like I had this initially, I started with this thing about Gaia. Like my job is to connect with Gaia, and it's this huge thing. And 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 it is. And also it's a tiny thing. It's the grass that I'm standing on, and it's the tree that I'm with, and the air that is passing through me. It's the same air that's passing through your. Just want to say that.
Thank you. And this is the invitation for you to keep going to in your daily life, to go with the freshness and with this being adventurous about every moment. Because when you, for example, go and drink water, you can sense, the water that you are drinking, actually also, what is this water telling me right now? And when I put it in, what is what is this thing that I'm receiving right now? And also in the food that you're eating, it was growing somewhere, and it has all this life energy that is nourishing your organic body, and you are becoming this food in this moment. So this is what I meant at the beginning, that living here, my life has kind of become more, spiritual. I would say more spiritual, that I connect with the heart of the things, even if it's a rice corn, and it brings like this freshness of being alive, with everything around me being alive. And it makes sense for what I'm searching for, what I'm researching for the growness, the wound that I'm carrying, and it gives me informations for my next steps ongoingly. And as Edna said today, Earth wants to communicate all the time. The thing is really that we don't get it because we are in this tension, our own tensions and scarcities, and it's all about us, and we are in our mental body, so we don't get what is really around us. Okay, so this is it for now. Have fun and keep exploring. And if you want to be part of the Situ Brigida, the Being School news, let me know and I send you the invitation link so you can hear what the wind is telling us and other events. Because there was also one online event a month about the discoveries that we are having here. So for 1 hour we will meet and unfold some research.
Thank
Right.
you, Isabel.
Thank you for the holding space.
Thank you, Eithne. Was just great space. I'm just like full of growth.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.